The Power of a Positive Spiritual Attitude. Storytime by T. Santoro. The greatest manipulator you will ever meet is you, because your thoughts can either limit you or set you free. Fellow souls, listen closely. What if your thoughts were the bridge to everything you desire? Every belief you hold either builds or breaks that bridge. The truth is, the choice of what you think determines what your reality becomes. In today's story, we will reveal 7 keys that will teach you how to embody the power of a positive spiritual attitude. What I'm about to share is more than words. It is a reminder of what your soul has always known but may have forgotten. This is not about self-improvement. It is about awakening your spiritual self and remembering that the keys to truth have always been within you. A positive spiritual attitude is the power to trust your inner dialogue. The quiet knowing that every positive thought creates result. Your thoughts create your state of being, and your state of being shapes your world. This is why training your mind to choose positive thoughts, where others choose negativity, becomes the bridge to a positive spiritual attitude. Warning, as this story begins, know it is a one-way journey. Once the 7 keys are revealed, you can never go back to negative thinking again. Enjoy the benefits that you will experience through simple shifts in your thinking that can create bridges you never imagined were possible. Sometimes it only takes one story to awaken something real within. And I know this is that story. Let's begin with Chapter 1. Awakening the Power of a Positive Spiritual Attitude. It was a warm and sunny Saturday morning in Raleigh, North Carolina, as the Raleigh Convention Center began to fill up. The atmosphere, alive with the hum of voices. Everyone is settling into their seats, eagerly waiting for Mr. Robbins' annual talk on the power of a positive spiritual attitude. Sue had been waiting for this day for months. She believed that her thoughts shaped emotions and emotions shaped her life. Her husband George came along because she asked him to. George was kind but skeptical. He often said if positive thinking really worked, everyone would be rich and happy by now. Their friend Rhonda, visiting from out of town, joined them out of curiosity and an open heart. As the lights dimmed, the chatter softened to a gentle murmur. Mr. Robbins stepped onto the stage, smiling warmly as he let the stillness settle before he spoke. "Good morning, everyone. I want you to take one deep breath and let it out slowly. What you are about to hear may challenge the way you see yourself and your life, but it will also remind you that you are never powerless to choose." Mr. Robbins looked across the gathering with calm confidence. His voice carried both strength and patience. "Each one of you came here for a reason," he said. "Some of you want to feel happier. Some of you want success. And some of you just want peace. But it all begins in the same place, your thoughts. Your thoughts are the foundation of everything you experience." Sue nodded in agreement. George just listened, still doubtful but curious. Rhonda closed her eyes for a moment and let his words sink in. Mr. Robbins continued, "It is not enough to just hope for a change. You have to train your thoughts to become aligned with your desires. That is the power of a positive spiritual attitude. It is in this awareness of how your thoughts shape your reality that builds momentum." Key number 1. Awareness. This key is the gateway to positive thinking. It begins the moment you recognize that your thoughts are not random. They are choices. When you become aware of what you are thinking, you begin to guide your mind instead of being guided by it. Awareness opens the door to change as you begin to see your thoughts take form. What your mind believes, your life will follow. And now you know the power of awareness of positive thinking. This is the first key to awakening the power of a positive spiritual attitude. Chapter 2. Utilizing the power of a positive spiritual attitude. Sue, who was eager to ask a question, raised her hand. "Mr. Robbins, I try to think positive, but some days I wake up anxious before anything even happens. Why is that?" Mr. Robbins nodded kindly. "That is a great question. And your name is—" "You can call me Sue, and this guy next to me is my husband George," she said with a smile. Mr. Robbins continued, "Sue, most people believe their feelings come first and thoughts come after. but the truth is the other way around. Thoughts are seeds that grow into your desires, either positive or negative. After all, it's your choice. It's always your choice to choose. The moment you notice a negative thought, as in this case, anxiety, look for the thought that invited it. Replace that thought with the positive opposite as you create a pathway for your new belief to shape your reality. George whispered to Rhonda, easy for him to say. Try staying positive when bills pile up. Mr. Robbins smiled as if he had heard the whisper. George, he said, looking him in the eye, that is an honest thought, and honesty is good. Let us talk about that. Positive thinking is not pretending problems do not exist. It is choosing to face them with understanding instead of fear. Mr. Robbins walked across the stage slowly and spoke with care. The philosopher Epictetus taught that we cannot control events, only our responses. Accepting and believing that your thoughts create your reality is the power you give yourself to move forward. Rhonda raised her hand. So how do we train ourselves to respond by accepting and believing that our thoughts create our reality? By practice, Mr. Robbins said. Every time you replace a negative thought with a positive one, you are training your mind. This means our outer life will always match our inner dialogue. To change the story outside, we must rewrite the story inside. And here is how we create our life, with key number 2, practice. In the still state, you see your thoughts taking form. The still state is where you train your thoughts to align with your desires. Each time you notice a negative thought, replace it with a positive one. This is your personal spiritual strength routine. What you accept and believe becomes your reality. I strongly suggest you utilize key number 2 once a day, maybe twice. Chapter 3. The Power of a Positive Spiritual Attitude in Action. Mr. Robbins looked around the gathering. Let me ask you something. Who here has tried to stay positive, only to feel like life hit even harder because of it? Several hands lifted, including Sue's. Understand this, Mr. Robbins said. That reaction is normal. When you start to shift your thinking, old habits push back. But remember, the power of your thoughts is not about denying reality. It is about knowing that you create your reality. Positive thinking does not remove mountains. It gives you the strength to climb them. Sue felt encouraged, but George still looked cautious. Mr. Robbins noticed and turned toward him. George, tell me something. What makes you doubt that positive thinking works? George rubbed his chin. I have seen good people stay positive and still lose jobs or get sick. How is that fair? Mr. Robbins paused before answering. That is a question as old as time. Life happens to all of us. What positive thinking provides is not control over life's events, but control over their meaning. When you choose what something means, you change how it affects you. Mr. Robbins reminded the gathering of what Romans chapter 12 verse 2 teaches us, to be transformed by the renewing of our mind. Renewal means daily action, awareness, and deliberate thinking. This does not shield you from life, because the world will always test your beliefs, but it is you who decides what defines you. Mr. Robbins looked back at George. So yes, even when things fall apart, your thinking still matters because it shapes who you become through it. George gave a half smile. All right, he said. I will listen. Mr. Robbins continued with key number 3, action. Positive thinking becomes real when you act on it. Words and thoughts begin the process, but action completes it. Every time you respond with positive thoughts instead of negative reactions, you begin to embody the power of a positive spiritual attitude with ease and confidence. Dear listeners, you are here for a reason. You were meant to hear these words. Stay with the story until the end, because within it is the breakthrough that will help you shape the life you desire through the power of a positive spiritual attitude. Like this story to let the universe know you are ready. Chapter 4. The Power of a Positive Spiritual Attitude. Mr. Robbins walked to the front of the stage and asked, "What is a positive spiritual attitude?" His voice was steady, calm, and full of purpose. A woman near the back spoke softly, almost without realizing it. "A positive spiritual attitude is to think happy thoughts," she said. Mr. Robbins looked at her with kind eyes and said, "That is part of it, but there is more. A positive spiritual attitude is not just about thinking happy thoughts," he said. "It is the strength to face challenges with positive thinking and clarity. It is the power to keep your thoughts focused on what is right for you, even when life tests you." The great inventor Thomas Edison once said, "The value of an idea lies in its use." The same is true for our thoughts. A positive thought that is never acted on is like a lamp that is never turned on. Rhonda spoke up. "So, are you saying our thoughts actually create things?" "In a way, yes," Mr. Robbins explained. "Thoughts guide attention. Attention guides action, and action shapes results. Every achievement begins as a picture in your mind. This shows that creation starts within before it appears in the world. In Genesis chapter 1, verse 3, God said, "Let there be light." And there was light. The word carried creation, and the same principle applies to us. When you speak life, you release energy that shapes outcomes. Sue's eyes glistened. "That is beautiful," she said. Mr. Robbins nodded. "It is also practical. Begin each day by choosing words that define your world. Speak desires, not doubt. Speak gratitude, not lack." The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius wrote that the happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thought. The Bible and Stoicism both agree on this truth. Both teach mastery of the inner life. This is what I call the power of a positive spiritual attitude. When you awaken spiritually in thought, you begin to see that within your thoughts, you guide your desires. This awareness is the key. The moment you become aware of what you are thinking, you hold the power to change it. Even you, dear listener, right now, you may notice that your own mind is listening to everything you say about yourself. It is like having a personal genie that grants every thought as you think it. That is the same focus and care you must have with each thought you hold. Guard your thoughts as carefully as you would guard gold bars. Mr. Robbins continued, "Let us do a simple exercise. Think of one area in your life where you want to improve. For example, you may want more peace in your life. Maybe it is work, health, or relationships. Now say quietly to yourself, 'I choose peace.' Feel the shift inside you. Feel peace rise within. That small act in your mind is how the momentum of your thoughts begins. This is your bridge that aligns your thoughts with your intentions." Key number 4, the power of a positive spiritual attitude. The power of a positive spiritual attitude is the desire to focus your thoughts on love, peace, harmony, and the understanding that your thoughts create your reality. It is choosing to see light when things seem dark, and to speak love when doubt appears. The power of positive thinking grows each time you replace negative thoughts with positive ones. When your soul stays steady and your mind stays clear, your life begins to reflect your desires back to you. Positive or negative, it is always your choice. Chapter 5. The Power of Inner Strength Through Stillness. Mr. Robbins stood quietly. His calm presence filled the room before a word was spoken. Now that we know we have a choice over our thoughts and words, let us talk about stillness. Stillness is not silence. It is awareness without noise. It is the place where you meet the voice of truth before the world tells you what to think. As Psalm chapter 46 verse 10 reminds us, "Be still and know that I am God." Stillness is not emptiness. It is full of guidance. When you quiet the chatter of your mind, you begin to hear the direction of your desires. Sue closed her eyes. She could feel a calm presence surrounding her, and you, the listener, may feel it too. It is the same quiet stillness that enters when the mind softens and the heart begins to listen. Mr. Robbins continued, "In stillness, your thoughts take shape. What once felt chaotic begins to make sense. You start to see patterns, lessons, and divine timing. Stillness is where the mind begins to understand what your thoughts feel like." George raised his hand. "I don't know how to get still. When I close my eyes and try to focus, my thoughts keep racing." Mr. Robbins smiled. "That is common. The mind is like a river. When you first step in, the current feels strong. Stay a little longer, and you begin to notice its rhythm. Sit with your thoughts without judgment. Observe them, then gently guide them toward gratitude. Gratitude calms the current. Rhonda nodded. That makes sense, she said. It is like breathing peace into the noise. Exactly, Mr. Robbins said. That is it, Rhonda. Peace is not the absence of problems. It is the mastery of focus. You strengthen peace the same way you strengthen a muscle, one choice at a time. Remember, your power lies in what you accept and believe. Key number 5, stillness of mind. Stillness of mind is the ability to remain calm and centered no matter what happens around you. It is the quiet space within where you observe your thoughts instead of reacting to them. When your mind is still, you begin to see clearly. You can hear the gentle direction that guides your next step. This stillness is not about emptying your mind. It is about becoming aware of your thoughts and choosing which ones to keep. Each time you pause before reacting, you strengthen your inner peace. Stillness of mind turns confusion into clarity and noise into understanding. The more you practice this stillness, the stronger your inner strength becomes. It is within this quiet awareness that you discover balance, wisdom, and the gentle power that shapes your life. I strongly suggest you practice this key each day, especially when you need balance in your thoughts. Chapter 6. The power of transforming negative thinking into positive thinking. Mr. Robbins spoke with compassion. We have all faced moments of fear, but fear is not a wall. It is a signal. It shows you where your power meets your thoughts. 2 Timothy chapter 1 verse 7 reminds us that God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. This verse is not only encouragement, it is instruction. Power means action. Love means connection. A sound mind means discipline. Together, they make fear powerless. Sue raised her hand again. But what if fear feels stronger than deliberate thinking? Mr. Robbins nodded gently. Then you feed your thoughts with your desires until it becomes automatic. Feed your mind with truth, with positive affirmations, and with gratitude. Fear loses its hold when you deliberately think positive thoughts. What you repeat becomes familiar, and the familiar will take root. In the book of Job, chapter 22, verse 28, it says, "You will declare a thing, and it will be established for you. Speak what you seek until you see what you say." Deliberate thinking is not blind belief. It is the steady alignment of your thoughts, words, and actions. George whispered softly, "That is deep." Mr. Robbins turned his eyes toward the gathering. You see, every time you replace negative thinking with positive thinking, you rewrite your future. The Stoics understood this as well. They taught that nothing outside of you can truly harm you because the mind defines meaning. God's wisdom and Stoicism teach the same truth in different words. Train your mind to say, "This moment is preparing me. This pause is guiding me. This experience is refining me." When you face life with positive thinking, you do not lose power. You gain mastery. Each challenge becomes a lesson that builds your strength and deepens your peace. Sue looked at George and smiled. George smiled back. "I think I understand now," he said quietly. Mr. Robbins heard and replied, "That is how transformation begins. One understanding at a time." Key number 6, transformation. Transformation is the process of turning negative results into positive results by focusing on your desires as if you already have them. This focus slows the momentum of negative outcomes and builds new energy toward positive ones. As you stay centered on positive thinking, your momentum grows stronger, and your life begins to shift in that direction. Chapter 7. The purpose behind the power of a positive spiritual attitude. The energy in the room felt stronger now. You could feel a sense of clarity taking hold. Mr. Robbins spoke with steady confidence. We have talked about positive thinking, negative thinking, and stillness. Now we come to purpose. Purpose gives direction to your thoughts. Without it, the mind drifts. Proverbs chapter 29 verse 18 tells us where there is no vision, the people perish. vision keeps your spirit alive. It gives your thoughts a goal to reach. Sue leaned forward. How do we find our purpose? Mr. Robbins continued. You begin by asking what lights your soul. Purpose is not found by chasing success. It is found by aligning your desires with your inner truth. You are not created by accident. Your life is proof of divine intention. Rhonda asked quietly, so every thought we choose can move us toward or away from that purpose? Yes, said Mr. Robbins. Every thought is a brushstroke on the canvas of your life. Think thoughts on what honors God, yourself, and others, and you will start to see beauty in everything. Key number 7, purpose. Purpose is the direction that gives your thoughts meaning. It is the inner drive that guides your choices and actions towards something greater. Purpose is not found by chasing success or recognition. It is discovered when you align your thoughts and desires with truth and intention. When you live with purpose, your mind stays focused, your heart stays steady, and your actions carry meaning. Each thought becomes a step toward the life you are meant to create. Purpose turns ordinary moments into opportunities for growth and strength. Mr. Robbins turned to the gathering and offered one more word of advice. Peace, he simply said. See you in the stillness. If this story spoke to you, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and remember to click the bell so you always hear a new story. And if you know someone who could use this message, share it with them. Because sometimes, a simple story is all it takes to spark something real.